Before that, in half an hour, Strictly Come Dancing, It Takes Two here on BBC Two, after Eggheads.
These 5 people are amongst the greatest quiz players in Britain. Together they make up the Eggheads, arguably the most formidable quiz team in the country. The question is, can they be beaten? Welcome to Eggheads, the show where a team of 5 quiz challengers pit their wits against possibly the greatest quiz team in Britain. You might recognise them as they have over 25 years of combined quiz show experience. They are the Eggheads. And challenging our resident quiz Goliaths today are Blue Vibe. The team are all massive Manchester City fans, and when they aren't watching games together, they all stay in touch through a fan website called Blue Vibe. Let's meet them.
Hi, I'm Jonathan, I'm 36 and I'm a tax advisor.
Hi, I'm Mike, I'm 48 and I'm a Treasury consultant.
Hello, I'm Nick, I'm 35 and I'm a design engineer.
Hi, I'm Paul, I'm 43 and I'm an accountant.
Hi, I'm Ronnie, I'm 41 and a voice systems analyst.
Well, we know how you got the team name then, Blue Vibe. How many people are out there on the website, on the Blue Vibe website?
Oh, thousands, I think.
Yeah.
2,500, I think, the last count.
Yeah.
Like that.
If you're all Man City fans, you all go to the games. Why do you need a website to stay in touch with each other?
Well, I think a lot of us don't go to the games, which is why we've got members all around the world.
Also, massive demand for tickets, more than the ground can accommodate, so we have to stay in touch
In other ways.
as well. Yes.
I can believe that. And what do you think about the start to the 2007 season then, with Sven in charge?
Oh, it's all bad.
Brilliant.
Agreeably stunned.
That's a good phrase, that, agreeably stunned. And, of course, stunned your Manchester rivals as well.
That was a nice day.
Again.
Again, yeah, as usual.
It's nice to be down here in Manchester United heartland, by the way.
What, London?
Yeah.
Yeah. More Manchester
Or
United fans.
Singapore. Or...
Yeah, that's right, more Manchester United. Well, I mean, it is the best supported international side, isn't it, Manchester United?
Is it? I don't know. I'm not sure about that.
Something like that. I don't know. Anyway, that'll be an Eggheads question. Maybe Man City runs them close. OK, let me tell you, every day there's £1,000 worth of cash up for grabs for our challengers. However, if they fail to defeat the Eggheads, the prize money rolls over to the next show. So, Blue Vibe, the Eggheads have won the last 11 games, which means £12,000 says you can't beat the Eggheads. It's an 11-match winning streak. Not bad, then. Settle for that, wouldn't you, Man City? OK, our first head-to-head battle is going to be on the subject of science. Who'd like to play this? Science.
I think we've got Nick down for that one.
Yeah.
The design
I'm
engineer.
earmarked for that one for some reason.
All right, Nick. Who would you like to play?
What do we think, guys? Is
Either Judith or CJ, I think.
we'll try Judith. I think CJ's got the eye of the tiger today. So try Judith.
The eye of the tiger. Yeah, nice twitch there, CJ. OK, it's going to be Judith then, is it for you, Nick?
Yep.
Let's have Nick and Judith into the question room then, just to make sure you can't confer with your teammates. Right then, Nick, we always let the challengers choose. Do you want to start or let Judith begin?
Judith can go first, thanks.
All right then, Nick. Judith, your question then. What name is given to a small text file stored on a person's computer that enables websites to identify the user? Candy, chocolate or cookie?
I think that's known as a cookie.
Cookie is correct, Judith. Good start. OK, Nick, your first question. The zoologist Jane Goodall's pioneering work in the study of animal behaviour centred on which creatures? Chimpanzees, snakes or hippopotamuses?
I would imagine that the most useful one of those animals to study would be a chimpanzee, so I will go for chimpanzees.
OK, chimpanzees there. And landing it, that's the right answer. Well done, Nick. Judith, what type of creature is a civet? A mammal, a fish or a snake? What type of creature is a civet?
I think it's a kind of cat. It's a mammal.
OK. A mammal is correct, Judith. So back to you, Nick. Second question for you. What is the smallest and yet one of the most distinctive constellations in the sky? Is it Delphinus, Equilaeus or Crux?
Well, I have been reading a book on astrological matters, but It's going to have to be a guess, this one. The only one that I can recall reading about was Aquileia, so I shall guess at that.
Okay. Aquileia. Smallest yet one of the most distinctive constellations in the sky is Crux. The Crux.
Sorry, guys.
So nothing there. Well, just got to hope Judith gets this wrong, and if she does, you'll have a chance to level it. Judith, which English scientist born in 1766 and considered by some to be the father of both meteorology and chemistry was a pioneer in the development of modern atomic theory? William Nicol, Isaac Newton, or John Dalton?
Well, I don't think it was Isaac Newton. I think it might be John Dalton.
Okay, the man thought to be the father of both meteorology and chemistry and a pioneer in the development of modern atomic theory is John Dalton. It's correct, Judith. Nick, afraid you won't be playing for the £12,000 today. Would you both please come back and join your teams? Well, the Eggheads have scored first, knocked Nick out of the final round. We play another head-to-head then, and it's arts and books now, Blue Vibe. Who'd like to play this? Arts and books.
Let's take it on, Mike.
I'll take it.
You fancy it? Give it a go.
Mike's best with that
You are our man for it.
Yeah, I'll take that, please.
OK, Mike, which Egghead would you like to play? Can't be Judith, one of the other four.
Take Kevin.
Why not?
I'll go Kevin, please.
OK, Mike. Why not, I heard Jonathan say. Let's have Mike and Kevin heading for the question room then, please. OK, Mike, I think you know the scale of the task in front of you. Just let me tell you Kevin's record in this category, arts and books. Played 29 times during the course of Eggheads and lost 2. Let's make it 3, shall we, Mike? Do you want to go first or second?
I'll go second, please, Dermot.
Second again. Didn't work for Nick. Let's see if it works for you, Mike. Your first question then, Kevin. To which family does Juliet belong in Shakespeare's play Romeo and Juliet? Mercutio, Benvolio, or Capulet? To which family does Juliet belong in Shakespeare's play Romeo and Juliet?
She's Juliet Capulet. So.
Capulet. It is the right answer, Kevin. So over to you, Mike, for your first question. In which field of the arts was Cecil Beaton a famous name? Photography, music, or poetry? In which field of the arts was Cecil Beaton a famous name?
Cecil Beaton was a pretty hot photographer. It's photography.
Cecil Beaton, photography is correct, Mike. Well done. Kevin, which Scottish author wrote the novel Trainspotting, which was later turned into a film starring Ewan McGregor? A.J. Cronin, Irvine Welsh, or Ian Banks?
That was Irvine Welsh.
Irvine Welsh is correct, Kevin. OK, Mike. Which Jane Austen novel begins with a line describing the central character as handsome, clever and rich, with a comfortable home and a happy disposition? Pride and Prejudice, Persuasion, or Emma?
It smacks a bit of Persuasion, Sir Walter Kellynch of Kellynch Hall, except I don't think he was particularly clever. He was a bit of a twit. Can I have the line again, please, Dennis?
Of course. Here you go, Mike. I'll read the whole question, just to keep it in context. Which Jane Austen novel begins with a line describing the central character as handsome, clever and rich, with a comfortable home and happy disposition?
Well, Walter Kellynch isn't the central character of Persuasion. So I'll rule that one out. Handsome, clever and rich. That could be Mr. Darcy. I'll have to go with Pride and Prejudice.
Okay, handsome, clever and rich with a comfortable home and happy disposition. Pride and Prejudice. It's Emma. Kevin, do you know who the character is?
It's Emma herself,
All
Emma
right.
Woodhouse. Because she's in a very comfortable position, but she starts to interfere in other people's lives, and that's so. But she comes from a wealthy family, so it's using the term handsome for a woman in this particular instance.
It kind of puts you off the scent a bit, doesn't it, that? Certainly in the modern day context. So there we are, nothing for you, Mike, which means much the same as Nick's experience in the first round. Got to sweat out the next question and hope that the egghead gets it wrong, this egghead being Kevin. Kevin, Jules Verne's Phileas Fogg bet the members of which club that he could travel around the world in 80 days? The Reform Club, the Garrick Club, or the Hurlingham Club?
Yeah, believe it was the start and end point of his journey as well. It was the Reform Club.
Phileas Fogg departed from the Reform Club. It's the right answer, Kevin. It has followed exactly the same pattern as the first round. It means, Kevin, you're through to the final round, and Mike, you won't be playing for the money today. Would you both please come back and join your teams? Well, I can see you thinking, Blue Vibe. I like the strategy. Of course, it doesn't work if you get that second one wrong. Always leaves the egghead well in the lead there. And they haven't done this essential bit of the strategy, which is slip up on one of their questions early to turn the advantage round. I don't know which way you're going to play this next category. Let me tell you what it is, first of all, and who's going to play it, and then you can decide. It is sports, which I guess many of you are looking forward to. Those eligible to play are Jonathan, Paul and Ronnie.
Is it you, Ron, is it? Is it you, John?
Do you want to take it?
I think so, yeah.
We're free, mate.
Yeah.
It's going to be me.
OK, Jonathan, who would you like to play from the Eggheads? Kevin and Judith have played, so you have CJ, Daphne or Chris.
I'll take Daphne on.
OK. And I'd ask you both to go to the question room now, please. OK, Jonathan, which way are you going to play this? Do you want the first set of questions or the second set?
I'll change the way we've been going and I'll go first, please.
Was it the plan to always go second, Jonathan, before you came in?
Not really, no. The plan was to try and beat the big people early. So it's not quite gone to plan, but, you know, there's time to turn it around.
Absolutely. Stole the words from my mouth there. OK, Jonathan, you're kicking off then. It's sport. This is your question. A triple Lutz and a double axel are moves in which winter sport? Ice skating, tobogganing or ski jumping? A triple Lutz and a double axel are moves in which winter sport?
I'd quite like to see them try doing it in ski jumping, but I think it's ice skating.
It might make it a bit more interesting, wouldn't it? Ice skating is the right answer. Good start. Good solid start from Jonathan. Daphne, in which sport might a sand wedge be used? Long jump, gymnastics or golf?
I think that's probably golf, Dermot.
Probably. Are you a bit uncertain?
No,
Yes, it is golf, a sand wedge. OK, eased you both in there. Jonathan, second question. In 1976, which Cuban became the first athlete to win the gold medal in both the 400 and 800 metres in a single Olympics? Is it Joaquin Cruz, Aguelmis Rojas or Alberto Wantarina?
OK, well, this is going to have to be a complete guess. I don't know much about athletics at that period. So I'm really just looking for the most Cuban-sounding name that I think it might be. And on that basis, we'll go for Alberto Wantarina.
Yeah. Wantarina, it's the right answer. Well done, Jonathan. And we were mentioning the great David Coleman a while back, weren't we, in a previous one? There was a very memorable Coleman balls about Wantarina. Does anyone remember it?
Wantarina opens his legs and shows his class.
Yes, that's it. Yes. And with no further comments, we'll move on to a second question for Daphne. Daphne, in August 2007, which Manchester United player announced his retirement from the club after 11 years? Ryan Giggs, Paul Scholes or Ole Gunnar Solskjaer? In August 2007, which Manchester United player announced his retirement from the club after 11 years?
Well, I can't pronounce it, but it's a third one long, Dermot. Ole.
Ole Gunnar Solskjaer?
Yes.
It is, that's the right answer. I'm not sure whether you would have liked that question or not, Blue Vibe. I'm sure you knew it anyway.
I've never heard of any of them.
Never heard of any of them. OK, then. You're going well then, Jonathan. This might win it for you if you get this. Jonathan, the former West Indies cricket captain, Viv Richards, played for more than 10 years for which county team? Somerset, Lancashire or Hampshire?
Well, he famously played with Ian Botham at Somerset.
No hesitation. The right answer as well. Viv Richards, 10 years at Somerset and more. OK, got to get this then, Daphne. Which Spanish city was the host of Sailing's America's Cup in 2007? Marbella, Valencia or Barcelona? Which Spanish city was the host of Sailing's America's Cup in 2007?
That's Valencia.
Yeah, it is the right answer, Valencia, the host city of the America's Cup in 2007. So for the first time in the game, Jonathan, we move to sudden death. You've both got through your 3 questions. We remove the multiple choice element, and as I say, it's sudden death. So can you just tell me this? Who became the manager of Blackburn Rovers in 2004? Who became the manager of Blackburn Rovers in 2004?
I suspect he's, well, I think he's still there. Mark Hughes.
Nice question for a football fan. It's the right answer. Yes, Mark Hughes, manager of Blackburn Rovers. OK, Daphne, the term rope-a-dope derives from a strategy used in which sport? The term rope-a-dope derives from a strategy used in which sport?
I think Muhammad Ali sort of coined it, didn't he? You got the dope on the ropes, so it's boxing.
Yeah, you're right, and the explanation as well, used by Muhammad Ali in 1974 in the Rumble in the Jungle when he fought George Foreman. Stayed on the ropes as George Foreman hit him, basically, didn't he? Kind of covered himself up. George Foreman tired himself out. So there we are, rope-a-dope, boxing. OK, back to you then, Jonathan. Another sudden death question. Adam Whitehead and Mark Foster have represented Great Britain in which sport?
Well, I've never heard of Adam Whitehead, but I think Mark Foster was a 50-metre freestyle swimmer. So swimming.
Swimming? OK, it's the right answer. Well done, Jonathan. You really know your onions. OK, Daphne, to stay in it again. Who rode Grittar to triumph in the 1982 Grand National, in the process becoming the oldest man to win the prestigious title? Who rode Grittar to triumph in the 1982 Grand National and in the process becoming the oldest man to win the prestigious title?
Oh, dear. No, sorry, Demo, it won't come. The minute you say it, I should remember it, but it's a pass.
Is this one you did know? You have...
I should have remembered it, but I can't. No, sorry, it just won't come.
OK, accepting your pass then, so no further offerings accepted from you, Daphne. Can any one of the other eggheads tell me this?
His first name was Dick.
Well, we're getting Dick from there and Saunders from there. It's Dick Saunders between you. Yeah. Dick Saunders, apparently his one and only ride in the Grand National, and he was aged...
Just over 50, was he?
No, 48. 48 at the time. Well, that's given Jonathan time, as we discuss the ins and outs of that question, given Jonathan time to ponder how he's going to handle the final round, because you're going to appear in it, Jonathan. Daphne won't be. Would you both please come back and join your teams? Textbook performance there from Jonathan, almost egghead-like. Well done. Through to the final round, which means you have lost 2 brains from the final round, but the eggheads have now lost 1. We play our last head-to-head before the final round. This one is entertainment, and Paul or Ronnie to play. Entertainment.
Is that you, Ronnie?
Ronnie's the,
yeah,
the designated man.
Yeah.
OK, Ronnie, who would you like to play from the eggheads? It is Chris or CJ?
I would take Chris on.
It's got to be Chris. Chris.
It's got to be, hasn't it, really, Chris?
That's the 3rd show in succession of that entertainment, yeah.
But I think you won the last 2.
Don't discourage the lad.
Let's have Ronnie and Chris into the question room, please. OK, Ronnie, is this a bit of a dilemma for you? Do you want to go first or second?
I'll carry on with going first, please, Dermot.
OK, let's see if you can knock Chris out. Here's your question. Which group won the Eurovision Song Contest for the UK in 1981 with Making Your Mind Up? Tight Fit, Bucks Fizz or Dollar? Which group won the Eurovision Song Contest for the UK in 1981 with Making Your Mind Up?
It's about my musical era. It's Bucks Fizz.
Bucks Fizz, Making Your Mind Up, that's correct. Chris, who played Scarlett O'Hara in the 1939 film Gone with the Wind? Vivien Leigh, Elizabeth Taylor or Audrey Hepburn? Who played Scarlett O'Hara in the 1939 film Gone with the Wind?
Well, in 1939, Elizabeth Taylor and Audrey Hepburn would both have been far too young. It was Vivien Leigh.
Scarlett O'Hara was played by Vivien Leigh. That's the right answer, Chris. OK, back to you, Ronnie. Who played the title role in The Phantom of the Opera when it first opened in the West End in 1986? Is it Michael Greco, Michael Praed or Michael Crawford?
Michael Greco was in EastEnders, so I doubt it was him. Michael Praed, I think he was in Dynasty or something. Michael Crawford, I suspect. Michael Crawford.
OK, sorting out your Michaels. Sorting them out well, it's the right answer. Michael Crawford played The Phantom when it opened in '86. OK, Chris, In which children's TV show was Windy Miller a prominent character? Camberwick Green, Postman Pat, or Hector's House?
Well, it's not Hector's House, which the more you watch, the more weird it gets. It's not Postman Pat, because that's up in Greendale, so he's the Miller in Camberwick Green.
You know the really weird thing about all this, Chris, is you watch all this stuff.
Ah, yes. Well, it's doing shift work all my life that does it. You know, you're watching television at odd times of the day.
And there we are. Windy Miller, yes, he's in Camberwick Green. It's the right answer. So, Ronnie, your third question. Who provides the voice of Prince Charming in the Shrek series of films? Alan Rickman, Richard E. Grant, or Rupert Everett?
I've only seen the first one. I don't think he appears in that. Alan Rickman.
Prince Charming in the Shrek series of
Rickman's.
films.
I'll have a guess at Rupert Everett.
Okay. It's a bit of a handicap only having seen the first one. You're right, he's in the next two. And if you had seen them, I don't think you would have forgotten, but it doesn't matter, you guessed it. Rupert Everett is correct. Prince Charming in Shrek. Okay, well, got to get this then, Chris. She keeps Moet and Chandon in her pretty cabinet. Let them eat cake, she says, just like Marie Antoinette. Are the opening lines to which Queen song? Bohemian Rhapsody, Killer Queen, or Seven Seas of Rye? She keeps Moet and Chandon in her pretty cabinet. Let them eat cake, she says, just like Marie Antoinette. Are the opening lines to which Queen song?
Well, it's not Bohemian Rhapsody, and it's not Seven Seas of Rye. It's Killer Queen.
Sound like you quite enjoy the song.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of sort of glam rock, but I do like some of Queen's stuff, yeah. So it's Killer Queen.
Killer Queen it is. That's the right answer. So we go to sudden death again. Well, it's really changed it around. The Blue Vibe members deciding to go first. I just don't know what it is, but you're into sudden death, as I say. Ronnie, can you tell me this? In 2005, I Bet You Look Good on the Dance Floor was the first UK #1 single for which band?
Jonathan would know this immediately. Unfortunately, I don't. I guess at Razorlight.
Okay, I Bet You Look Good on the Dance Floor. It's not Razorlight, Ronnie. Do you know, Jonathan?
It's the Arctic Monkeys.
It is the Arctic Monkeys. Arctic Monkeys. Bet You Look Good on the Dance Floor. Well, it might not be over. Chris has to get this to win the round. The 2004 film House of Flying Daggers is set in which Asian country?
Well, I think it's set in the mythical past of China.
The House of Flying Daggers is set in China. It is correct, Chris. You're through to the final round, and he's doing rather well in the category. Would you both please come back and join your teams? OK, this is what we've been playing towards. It's time for the final round, which, as always, is general knowledge. But I'm afraid those of you who lost your head-to-heads won't be allowed to take part in this round. So Mike, Nick and Ronnie from Blue Vibe and Daphne from the Eggheads, would you all leave the studio, please? Well, Jonathan and Paul, you're playing to win Blue Vibe, £12,000. Judith, Kevin, CJ and Chris, you're playing for something which money can't buy. The Eggheads' reputation. As usual, I'll ask each team 3 questions in turn. This time the questions are all general knowledge, just to confirm that, and you are allowed to confer Blue Vibe. Blue Vibe, the question is, are your 2 brains better than the Eggheads' 4 brains? And Jonathan and Paul, would you like to go first or second?
I think we should go first.
I agree.
Yeah. It was lucky last time, wasn't it? So we'll go first.
OK. So you've decided to kick off. Here's your first question then. It's general knowledge. In traditional Indian cuisine, what shape is a samosa? Square, triangular or round? In traditional Indian cuisine, what shape is a samosa?
Easy enough. We have eaten enough. It's triangular.
Yes, that's the right answer. Triangular is correct. Eggheads, according to the proverb of what is discretion the better part? Love, valour or modesty? According to the proverb of what is discretion the better part?
Discretion is the best part of something I know nothing about. Valour.
Valour is correct, Eggheads. OK, second question for both of you. Blue Vibes first. What type of bridge is the Golden Gate Bridge in San Francisco? Cantilever, cable stay, or suspension? What type of bridge is the Golden Gate Bridge in San Francisco?
Well, the first thing that came to mind was suspension.
Suspension.
I was there last year. I
You
didn't
ought to
listen.
know. You ought to know.
We're going to go with suspension.
Did I hear you saying you crossed it last year,
I
John?
didn't cross it, but I was there.
All right, you saw it. And the Golden Gate is a suspension bridge. It's the right answer. OK, your question then, Eggheads. The annual Aldeburgh Music Festival, founded by Benjamin Britten in 1948, is held in which English county? Suffolk, Kent or Devon? The annual Aldeburgh Music Festival, founded by Benjamin Britten in 1948, is held in which English county?
That is Suffolk, Duct.
Aldeburgh Music Festival is held in Suffolk. It's the right answer. Eggheads, 2 each. Well, Blue Vibe, if you get this, who knows what might happen? You could be going home with £12,000. Who wrote the play The Jew of Malta? Samuel Johnson, William Shakespeare, or Christopher Marlowe? Who wrote the play The Jew of Malta?
I think we can rule out Shakespeare.
I think we can. It's a shame Mike's not with us in no long.
Other than that, I haven't got a clue. So it's going to have to be a guess from me.
So it's
The Jew of Malta, I suppose, is more of a detective novel, do you think?
I have no idea. Go with your first instinct.
I would think probably a detective novel, so we'll go with Christopher Marlowe.
Marlowe, who wrote the play The Jew of Malta. It is Marlowe. Ruled out Shakespeare, guessed between the other two and came up with the right answer. Well done. OK, Eggheads, you've got to get this. The 18th of February 2007 marked the beginning of which year in the Chinese calendar? The pig, the dog, or the rat? The 18th of February 2007 marked the beginning of which year in the Chinese calendar?
I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure it's dog this year.
Okay.
Well, do we have anything else? I'm reasonably sure it's dog.
The 18th of February 2007 marked the beginning of which year in the Chinese calendar?
This appears to be down to me. I think it's dog.
Okay, the year of the dog. The 18th of February 2007 marked the beginning of the year of the pig. It's incorrect, Eggheads. You have lost, Blue Vibe. You've won £12,000. There you go. All really hinged on Chinese restaurants and Indian restaurants, didn't it? Really? You knew your samosas, they didn't know their
samosas
dog.
came in
And do you know, the real crucial thing about all this, Jonathan, is you winning your head-to-head. Daphne, I could see her in the question room behind you, going ballistic as they were saying it was the year of the dog. It is, of course, the pig. Did you know that?
Not a clue.
No,
I'll be
I was at
honest,
the Chinese New Year celebrations.
None of us knew it, but I thought of dog before the options came up.
Kind of things an egghead should know, but they didn't, and it's cost them their winning record, and £12,000 is heading your way. Don't know how you're going to divide it up, but that presumably will pay for the season tickets for next year.
Certainly will.
I might go back to the Golden Gate Bridge.
Is that the plans? Well, you work out what you want to do with it, but our congratulations to you. They're hard to beat, but you've shown it can be done. You are officially cleverer than the Eggheads. Well, join us next time on Eggheads to see if the new team of challengers will be just as successful. Until then, from all of us here, goodbye.
Well, the Friday night preview for Strictly Come Dancing is on its way next on BBC Two, or switch to News 24 for all the latest fancy footwork from Ricky Hatton ahead of the big fight in Las Vegas.
Now that I've taken power onto myself,